Well, now I'm joined by Dr. Paula Fujiwara, who is Scientific Director of the Union, to discuss some of the scientific highlights of the conference. So hello to you.
Good morning.
So what would you pick out, do you think, as some of the real scientific highlights?
I think there are several things. I think what's very exciting is that we're now post the high-level meeting on tuberculosis, where this really highlighted the issue of the need for new tools. So the first thing that's come up is the new vaccine from GSK, which shows that we now have a vaccine for adults who are infected with tuberculosis, and we found that by giving this vaccine, their rate of tuberculosis is much lower.
And how much hope does that give you? I mean, it's in the stage 2B trials, is it?
It's still in the stage 2B trial, but it gives us hope because now we have a vaccine. We have BCG that's almost 100 years old, and the fact that it doesn't work in adults. So the fact that we now have a vaccine in adults is very, very much groundbreaking. We still need to use it with other measures to actually prevent tuberculosis, but this is actually very much an important development for the TB world.
And we've also had the news of a new development in stool testing for TB.
Yes, there's this is a very useful test for children, because children traditionally cannot give us a specimen from their sputum because they can't cough. So the fact that we now have a test, a very simple test, and it uses the technology of Gene Expert, which is used all over the world now for sputum testing. We can actually use a stool specimen, use the same machine, take a little bit of a stool specimen, mix it up with some reagents, and within 2 hours you have a diagnosis. The other important thing about this is that because it's using the Gene Expert machine, we can also test for rifampicin-resistant tuberculosis. So at the same time, it gives you a potential diagnosis for TB and a potential diagnosis if the person also has rifampicin-resistant tuberculosis.
And there's a lot of research being done on all different aspects of TB we've seen in the poster sessions. What else would you pick out, do you think?
I think what's really exciting is a study from Belarus, which is using the drug called bedaquiline. And this is one of the 2 new drugs that we've had in the last, unfortunately, 50 years it's taken us. But what the Belarus study did was to show that the most extremely resistant types of tuberculosis, they were able to get a success rate of 93%. And this is almost unprecedented. So the fact that we were able to do this shows the hope for a drug like bedaquiline, but it also highlights the need that we need many new drugs, new diagnostics, even more new vaccines in order to get to the end of tuberculosis.
And is this, would you say, a breakthrough time in TB, or is it steady as she goes kind of time?
This is a breakthrough moment for tuberculosis. We have been, now because of the high-level meeting on tuberculosis that we just had in September of 2018, this is a moment which has given us hope. We still need the money, that's the important thing, but in order to get the new tools, the new diagnostics, the new medications, and ultimately a vaccine to help us end tuberculosis.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for telling us all about it.